Case 5, the Stanford Robotics Lab. It was a chance meeting. Norman was there, tinkering, and so was Plumb. The lab was, otherwise empty, and always seemed to be empty, except for the two of them who were working on projects tirelessly. They didn't speak for weeks of weekends, barely a glance. They were both, kind of shy. But then one day the power went out, and everything just stopped. It was as if for the first time that the machinery couldn't more or less do their talking for them. So Plumb came over and finally made the overture.
Testing?
I never seem to have enough time to fully test.
Cardinal sin in this business. What are you working on?
Standard parts. Just trying to get everything to operate as if it was one block. One set of instructions so that all the tweaks are changes in software, not hardware.
Lego?
Yeah, Lego.
To do what?
To build cheap robots. To build really cool robots that are actually useful in a bunch of ways, but for prices that normal people can afford.
Normal people. The world doesn't take enough care of the normal people.
Norman nodded. Given his childhood, Norman didn't really know what normal was, other than a curve. He hadn't given the concept a whole lot of thought.
Legos are like the socialism of mechatronics. Similar parts, all from the same plastic. Each block does the best it can, according to its means, to enable the building body to thrive.
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about it that way. I'm just trying to make robots that make life easier to, live.
Then we have aligned missions. Life should be easier to live. I'm the professor here, in charge of the lab. I see you every weekend, every evening. Love the dedication. I think we met before. You were the winner at GCER this year, the World Robotics Championships?
Yeah, that was me, and our team.
I was a judge. I remember. Impressive.
Norman nodded again. The sociology lesson comparing Legos to socialism was still being processed in his brain. It would take a while to render.
Anything I can do to help?
Well, I'm trying to build a robot arm that will flip eggs without spilling them, ever. And I know I need to redesign the frying pan so that the edges come up way higher. I just can't quite finish the dodecagon dihedral vector math. If I could, then the pan flip could just be a pre-programmed set of 3 movements, and there'd be plenty of margin for error.
Interesting. And yeah, I see what you're doing there. You're missing this, and this, and this, and this. And whatever you do, you have to test in all conditions. Heat, humidity, for earthquakes, power surges, water pressure differentials, and on and on and on. Test. Or, someday, you pay a huge price.
Professor Plumb proceeded to finish the whiteboard calculations that Norman had been drawing on the Stanford Robotics Lab wall. And the new set of instructions seemed to actually work. And as Professor Plumb left Norman to continue working out the details, he mumbled to his mentee,
Just don't forget the little people when you're mightily powerful in the world.
As the professor chuckled his way ruefully out the door to his Honda Accord, which would drive him to his rented faculty housing on campus past the gym, for which he received a free annual subscription.